We managed to watch the documentary. It was on last night and many of us were out, but we managed to watch it this morning. It's hard-hitting, it's uncomfortable viewing, but it does throw up some very interesting questions about whether we think vigilantes, are we for them, or should we just let the police get on with their work alone?
Well, we
think?
would let the police, but the police don't have the resources. I mean, I'm very anti the vigilante, though I think that guy is extraordinary. A lot of what he was doing was brilliant. It's just this naming people on Facebook and all that. I just think it's so dangerous. You've got to have the law. I think that the debate that should come out of it is why are people having to do this? I mean, he's
there's
using
not enough police funding, is there?
No.
The way that he was doing it was so structured, and it was done respectfully, you know. And he
I did feel at times why it was really uncomfortable for me was he was taking on the sort of the guise of a policeman. He was talking like a policeman. Do you know what? At times I just wanted to just give that guy a great big hug, because he obviously has so much pain in his own life.
He has his own
and you know that's dangerous.
Issues.
We don't know what his issues are, but he'll be taking those issues into what he's doing. But I just think it's dangerous.
If you watch the programme, he did it step by step, and he spent 12 or 14 weeks talking to these men, and talking to them, not luring them, actually saying, look, do you realise I'm 13 or I'm 11?
Listen, I think what he does is incredibly brave, and actually it terrifies me how many people and how easily he managed to get them to come to the house. But I do think it's a job for the police. I don't think that, you know, ordinary citizens should be doing that kind of work, because first of all, something might go horribly wrong. Secondly, they might get beaten up when they're, you know,
I don't
leaving
care if
his
they get
house.
beaten up.
Well, because then that's a crime with another crime.
What if you get it wrong?
No,
do you remember that case a few years ago when somebody got beaten up because they had on their door paediatrician or something, and they misread it?
In those cases, but
that's a very good example.
These men had got on trains and taken time to come and meet these guys.
Nobody's saying that these men should not be prosecuted. And by the way, that was the other main concern for me, was that the sentences they got, most of them were suspended sentences. And you think there are people in prison for chequebook fraud, and a lot of these guys...
we should do a whole show on sentencing.
Sentences, and then they're, you know, released back into the community, and who knows what will happen next. But I think one of the interesting things that came up on the programme was obviously that it was very balanced, in that obviously they did show that he didn't lure them in. He was texting as posing as an underage teenager, and they came of their own free will. And he did say as soon as they arrived, there's going to be no violence here. You're free to leave at any time.
But
you incredibly well. But he's not a policeman.
Weren't you uncomfortable with how he was using, like, police language? You know, sir, you can sit down, you can talk to me. I just felt like he was taking on a role that he's not trained for. I think he's a passionate man. I really admire him, but I just think he's
getting those paedophiles' names out there, and they're still going to the police. He's still going to the policeman, so there might be, like, he might have 60-odd... But
he's putting him on Facebook.
That's fine, but it should be the police... He's shown how easy it is.
But he's exposed more than we would know otherwise. It should be the police doing it. So I hope that, you know, the Home Secretary, Theresa May, watches that documentary and thinks, why am I spending money on having police standing on the side of the road, pulling people in, going, have you got a slightly bald tyre? Why am I not channeling resources into this kind of work? Because this guy has shown how easy it is to do.
And also, I mean, you say that. There was a retired policeman that was interviewed on the programme, and he said one of the problems is that they've got people with very little training are going online and basically effectively shooting fish in a barrel. Because